Doesn't it look tender?
Looks very tender. Looks very good. I mean, Baccala is a tradition at Christmas Eve. It's Baccala is a salt cod that my mother used to have for 24 hours, 48 hours. Soak it, and then on Christmas Eve she used to make a Baccala salad. It was just wonderful.
Well, we're going to make a salad today, Mayor, and for you at home as well. And you can see now how that is just, it's easy to flake, see?
Can we eat it like that now?
We could, but we're going to do a nice salad with it. So we're going to let that cool down a little bit.
Okay.
Because we're going to use our hands. If you're Italian and you're a cook, you got to use le mani, see?
Your hands, not just to cook, to talk or two.
To talk or two. Okay. So what we need with this salad is some celery. So I'm going to have you cut that up. Just dice it up. And while we're doing that, we should tell people that, this is for the La Vigilia, which is the feast that happens on Christmas Eve. And in Italy, especially southern Italy, you have the Feast of the Seven Fishes. Now, I have to tell you, I was just in Italy a couple weeks ago, and I was asking some friends in northern Italy about what they cook for La Vigilia. I said, do you do the Feast of the Seven Fishes? They all looked at me like I had horns. They really had never heard of the Feast of the Seven Fishes in northern Italy.
Wow.
Which, that kind of makes sense, don't you think?
Yeah, different regions have different traditions. And I can remember just growing up as a little boy in Hyde Park, my grandmother and grandfather talking about seven fishes. Very special. It was a black fast for the Roman Catholics, and we couldn't eat fish. But what does seven fishes mean? Why seven?
Well, Mayor, that is a loaded question. That's almost a political question because...
We don't have loaded political questions here.
The seven fishes could mean a number of things to a variety of people, depending on who you talk to. There's always the last full week of Advent, 7 days before Christmas. That could mean why we have the Feast of the Seven Fishes. There is also the seven deadly sins. That's another reason why we could have the Feast of the Seven Fishes. And you have your reason, which is?
The seven sacraments.
The seven sacraments.
A priest just told me that recently, that's why we have the seven fishes on Christmas Eve.
When you think about it, most of the immigrants who came to this country came from southern Italy.
That's right.
And they brought those traditions with them. So obviously they brought a fish culture with them because if you are from the south, fish is a big part of the diet, big part of the Mediterranean diet. Is. And this would make sense. So I think that this was something that traveled with immigrants to this country. They embellished it however they wanted to, and it became the Feast of the Seven Fishes. So here are our potatoes. So I'm going to put them right in there. How are you doing on that?
I'm doing all right. My peppers and my celery.
You got pepper. You don't need to do all of it. I probably need about a half a cup of that. A half a cup. So while you're doing that, I'm going to do garlic. So what are some of the other types of fish dishes you like to do for Christmas Eve besides the Baccala?
The shrimp.
Yeah.
Shrimp scampi, fried shrimp, lobster salad, smelts.
Smelts. That's my mother's favorite. Smelts.
Not too many people like smelts. I think smelts are a wonderful dish, and I always enjoy it, especially on Christmas Eve.
Okay, that's good. I love that knife you're using.
It's a wonderful knife. I bought it many years ago.
Okay, so now that we have that, why don't we flake up this fish? While you're doing that, I'm going to work with il diavolo. Il diavolo?
Diavolo, yeah.
Madonna mia. Okay. So here you go. So all you want to do is, you got to use your hands for this.
Oh, I like that idea.
You got to take it apart, leave it in big pieces like that.
Oh, I
like
this.
So this is from my garden.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. How hot do you like it?
Not, somewhat hot, but
you don't like it too hot? Okay, I'm not going to put too much in. Just a little bit of heat is nice. You could leave this out if you didn't want the red pepper in this. You could just leave it out. Sometimes I put a red pepper paste in this that
some people like it real hot, some get mild.
Just a few little bits here. And then we're going to put in some parsley, some extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of vinegar or lemon juice, which is good. Which do you prefer?
Lemon juice.
Lemon juice, me too. Okay, that goes in there. And then let's get some parsley. See, this has got a lot of flavor going on. Now, whenever I use parsley in this, I always think of my mother because my mother always used the stems too. Do you use the stems?
Yeah, sometimes we do.
Yeah, she says all the flavor's in the stems.
My mother used to have a little garden in my yard, and fresh vegetables.
So what makes this dish is using really fresh ingredients. So it was so nice of Emilio to give us the Baccala and Angelo, and that was such a great store, wasn't it?
That's right.
Tutto Italiano. Well,
really
today
tutto
we're
Italiano.
cooking Tutto Italiano, that's for sure. I'm going to add some extra virgin olive oil to this. Beautiful. You're going to have the first taste of this, Mayor. And then I like with this capers and brine. That just adds a nice spritey taste to this salad.
How colorful it is.
Isn't it pretty? About a tablespoon. We don't measure anything, do we?
No, I can remember my aunt. I say, Aunt Rose, I says, why don't you write a cookbook about how you make all these Italian dishes?
A little
She
pinch
says
of
to me,
this.
try me. It's a pinch of that, a pinch of that. We make that decision as we cook. We don't.
Right.
We can't say a cup of this, a half a cup of that. That's the way the Italians cook.
It smells so sweet and fresh. And if you start with good baccala to begin with. So there it is.